Bet Halevi, we were discussing last time many lessons we learned, and we said, is Bitachon an absolute guarantee? We said sometimes it is. Sometimes if you have the very high level of Bitachon without any doubts, it could be you will receive bizchut that exactly what you needed. And then we said it depends on the person's level of Bitachon. Is Bitachon only for the big tzaddikim, the righteous? No, not necessarily. It's applicable to everybody, even according to their level. Even though most people won't reach the highest level, it's very hard to get there, but the more a person works on his bitachon, the more results a person will see. But there are many difficult situations where a person worked hard, he prayed a lot, he had a lot of bitachon, and it didn't work out, and he doesn't see results. So he says, what's the value of my prayers? What's the value of my bitachon when it didn't work out the way I wanted it to work? So what's the point? Where did all those prayers go? Where did all the bitachon go if it didn't add up to anything? That's a person could have such a question, right? And we feel like sometimes we're wasting our time. We feel like those prayers are wasted. We feel like that bitachon was wasted. All that effort was for naught. So how do you answer that question? What are you going to say about that? So you really have to understand that that's slightly mistaken. When you ask such a question, it means that we're not fully understanding the concept. For example, they give a mashal. In order to save time and money, a lot of times, women go shopping early in the season, right? And they go buy shopping on things that, for her children or her grandchildren. That way on the holiday, when things go up, she doesn't have to pay those prices, the holiday prices, or sometimes they go up and there's markup. So, or there's sometimes there's more times of the season where it's cheaper than the other. And then by the time if she bought too much in advance, what happens? The clothing doesn't fit anymore. Sometimes the time passed already so much that she wasn't able to get them to wear it. But now she has to go back and return the clothes, and she prays to Hashem that the clothes should be taken back. Her prayers are answered, and they say you can exchange it, right? She thinks, why do I have to go through this? Why couldn't every time it work out? Why I have to go? Hashem made it that I bought the clothes for the grandchildren, the children. I have to go back to the store, exchange it. But we can see this example is very common. But at the end of the day, the answer is that the person knows they have to go through certain things, right? Each person could get it the first time, some people didn't get it the second time. Each person has difficult situations that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to exercise our bitachon. Each person has different, suffering, a kapara they have to go through. A lot of times, some people get it the first time, some people get it the second time, some people the third time. Each person has to know that it's not considered a waste. Rather, it's part of the process. A person who had to ask 50 times for something, as opposed to 10 times, he exercises his bitachon 50 times versus exercising it 10 times. And he grew from those 50 times, as opposed to only those 10 times. So each person needs to work on their bitachon more. Each person has a different goal and different level they have to reach. And therefore, each person has a different result. It doesn't work that, you pray one time and you had amazing bitachon, and it should be everybody first time they get it. No. Each person has a different place that they come from and they have to reach. And therefore, each person has to know that every process, every single time you pray, it's in order to make you grow and to work. You had bitachon one more time. You accustom yourself another time to have bitachon, and to pray again, and to pray again. You internalize it more and more. The famous question they have about prayer is that, how does it help to pray? We know HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows everything. He already knows what we need. He knows that you need money, and He was the one who put you in a situation where you don't have money. So why do I have to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give me parnasah? He already knows. Let Him already give it to me. Why do I have to ask Him for it? And even if I don't deserve, so let's say I don't deserve, and that's why He's not giving it to me. So what does it ask? What does it help that I ask Hashem, give me parnasah? Now things are going to change. I convinced Him by saying a prayer, and I say to Him, please give me parnasah. Hashem says, yeah, you're right. I forgot you need parnasah. I didn't want to give you, but now I want to give you because you convinced me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He's above all this. He knows what's the right thing to do. So why would He consider our prayers make it that now we convinced Him, quote unquote? So the explanation the Maral explains is that really that we don't change HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So what changed? We changed ourselves. We changed ourselves. Before we were a person who only believed this much. After we prayed and we exercised bitachon another time, now we leveled up even more. That person who was on the higher level, that person deserves parnasah. The person who was on the lower level didn't deserve parnasah. So now because you prayed one more time and you exercised your faith in God, you placed your faith in Him, now you're on a higher level and that person deserves parnasah. Originally the decree was you don't get. Now when you change yourself, the decree is not on you anymore. You're a different person. The decree is not on that old type of person. So that's how you get the parnasah. So he says the same thing with the child, the mashal, famous mashal, where the child, the father bought him a bike, And he told them, make sure you look before you cross the street. You don't just drive into the street. He says, yeah, of course, no problem. He drives into the street, obviously without looking, and he gets hit by a car. He breaks one of his legs. He takes to the hospital, and the father, right? What is the first thing he do? The first thing he does, he says, I'm never going to go and give him a bike again. What is this? He does it irresponsible, whatever it is. And then he speaks to his son. His son comes to. He heals, and his son says to his father, Abba, thank you so much. And now I realized how important it is to look before I cross the street. You were so right. I should have listened to you. I'm always going to look before I cross the street. What's the first thing the father does now? Is he buys him a bike. Everyone says, what are you doing buying him a bike? You're foolish. That's why he got hurt. No, you don't understand. I took away the bike from my son who didn't understand. Now I saw my son understand. Of course I should give him a bike. The same thing with us. A lot of times God says, should I give you? You say, will he understand, will he not? Maybe he'll think that he made this parnasa. Maybe he'll think this parnasa should be used on has v'shalom averot. But now this guy prayed to me, asked me for it. He knows it comes from me. So he's a different guy. Now I can give him. He's a person who understands. Now I can give him the parnasa. We should also to be that person who Hashem says he deserves.